Hey everybody, Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Parrot BeBop drone, priced at $500 US. This is the most expensive drone Parrot has ever manufactured and marketed, but also one of the most impressive. You can see it's got 14 megapixel still capture capability, as well as full 1080p video capture with 3-axis stabilization, which from at least the samples I've seen is beyond impressive, and that's part of the reason I'm sharing the BeBop with all of you. On the side of the box you can see basically the fact that it's got easy transport because it is very lightweight. It now does also have a GPS flight plan, which from what I have heard, or read I should say, hasn't been fully released yet. If you know otherwise, please feel free to chime in the comments. I already mentioned the full HD video capture and of course how lightweight this thing is, which also means it should end up being more durable than a lot of the competition. On the back side of the box you can see the demonstration of the use of a tablet to control this, and that's because you will be using an iOS or Android app for full control. They do have an optional controller that you can mount your tablet or phone on and then use the actual control that they've finally assembled, but it is very expensive, and I think most users are going to stick to traditional Android or iOS devices, meaning phones or tablets. Also, the Shield Portable is another great controller option for this, since it incorporates both the display as well as the physical controls and extends range, and that's another bump up in the specifications of this drone. It has better range than any previous generation beyond the GPS capability. So a lot of things to like: a wider angle on that full HD camera that is giving you 3-axis stabilization that traditionally would cost a lot more money than the $500 price point. So even though we have taken a step up, as I mentioned before, to $500, more than Parrot has ever wanted for a drone in the past, we also arguably again have the most comprehensive offering they've ever put forward. So let me go ahead and get this thing out of the box. You may have noticed that the seal is cracked already, and that's because Best Buy was kind enough to sell me an already opened, or I should say returned, product. And it is holiday season, so I guess that has something to do with it, but it's far from a good excuse. So there you can see the actual drone itself, the paperwork, which has been squished in here, as well as all the applicable power plugs, which I'll get to in a moment. Let me get the drone out of here. And that's why you can notice already all of the tape and things that should be here aren't. In fact, I'm pretty put off by the fact that Best Buy sold a product like this so expensive and so new, figuring they could slip by a return. And quite frankly, I did get fooled because I didn't notice that the seal was broken, but you can see all of the dirt and damage on this thing already. If I was shooting this in 4K, it would only be worse. But back to the product itself, which is what this unboxing is all about. One of the two included batteries. Runtime on the battery is roughly 10 minutes. You can see GPS right there. This is a styrofoam body. The lens cap, if you will, right there. And you can see we have our camera, the fisheye wide angle that I've been talking about. Which really, again, for its price point, I can't imagine finding something that's going to outperform this, especially if its flight capability is decent. And from what I've seen, it's better than decent. On the back side, we have the micro USB charging port right there, as well as the power button, I believe. And basically, that's it. Really lightweight. You can see the balance of the accessories that are included here as I put down the drone. We've got another battery, as I mentioned before, and that battery does, of course, come with a charger, and this is how you will be charging it. And nice of Best Buy not to even clean this. It's pretty gross, actually, and can't help it. Truth is the truth. But basically, this just plugs into the wall. Battery is seated right there, and this will light up and charge. Beyond that, keep in mind, 10 minutes runtime. We also have extra blades, as you may have noticed, as well as the actual assembly for the drone itself, the styrofoam wingspan or frame that goes around it to essentially protect as well as help in flight. And last but not least, some extra propellers, USB cable, which you can see has already been used, and then the plugs and adapters. This is for the foreign market, essentially covering all of their bases so they can sell one product to every region. And then the paperwork that Best Buy was kind enough to crumble back, or the last customer that purchased this. So I will be testing this out. Hopefully it works. even though Best Buy sold it as new again. But still very excited to share it with all of you because this is one of the most affordable and I will say proper functioning drones on the market, at least that I've seen based on real world results. So hopefully it delivers. It certainly is expensive enough at $500. 2 batteries, again, 14 megapixel stills, 1080p video with that full 3-axis stabilization. And if you check out any samples, which hopefully I'll be posting soon, even though it is frigid where I live, you will see that this thing produces amazing video. And if it does actually work well with their application, which I have not played with in years, literally since CES 2012, that's how long I've been away from Parrot, we're going to see how far they've come. You know, they may have made a real winner. And from everything that I've seen so far, the BeBop, name aside, is basically what I think a lot of consumers have been waiting for, a sub $1,000, even sub $500 drone that can do everything they want for their lifestyle, for whatever that need may be that they plan on using this device for. Of course, always try to use these in as safe a fashion as possible, keep them away from people. They can hurt people, obviously. The light plastic build of this is going to be less harmful than the pro-grade drones out there, even though this is trying to compete with them at a much lower price point, but it's still dangerous nonetheless, so use it with caution. And that's why it does actually have, I think it's 13 or 14 and up, 14 and up as the age restriction for this so-called toy. Also keep in mind that because of that lightweight construction, if this takes a hit, a spill, a fall, it's going to do a better job taking that hit than some of the higher-end drones that essentially, if they fall, they are done. So it's a lot easier to lose your money in the far more expensive higher-end drones than with one of the Parrot-branded lightweight drones like the one we're looking at here. But that pretty much sums it up. 500, definitely a lot, but the performance here seems to be a lot closer to what you would traditionally have to spend $1,000 to get, and that's why I'm sharing it with all of you. And we'll eventually be sharing samples of in-flight footage, as well as, of course, the video captured and stills captured by the drone itself. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. And of course, as usual, please feel free to subscribe. Later.